Guys, Nathan again from Cornerstone FX. I almost said Euro USD. So we're just gonna do the market recap from the previous week, what we expected to see from the markets and what we actually saw happen in the market. Right, starting here with Euro USD, as you can remember, we were looking for buys on this particular pair. When we first started analyzing this pair, what we had seen is that price was already trading above this area over here. We had already gotten the break, the retest, and the idea was for us to continue trading this market up because we had gotten a break of this key area. Now we couldn't find an entry here, so what we were waiting for is for market to retest, come down a little bit, give us candlestick confirmation, and as you can see, if you had entered the market over here, which was one of our plans, we would have been able to secure at least up to 2% returns on this trade. The other plan was we were waiting for price to break this key area over here that created in the market to make a new higher high and then come down to create a higher low and then looking to capitalize up. But for the general part, we were looking for price to continue pushing up, and as you can see, that is what we got from Euro USD. I see some good potential coming up for the week ahead, but we will speak more about that in our pre-market analysis in a couple of days. All right, moving on to the next pair, Gbp Jpy. Again, on Gbp Jpy, in general, we were looking to capitalize on the markets moving up. However, I had one of those weeks I missed a lot of opportunities. Even with the previous pair we looked at, I missed opportunities there. Even with GJ, I missed opportunities, but this one worked out for me because I would have just secured maybe a 1-to-1 or even made a loss. So what we initially saw is that the market was ranging. We were around this area when market opened. On this side, we saw that market was ranging, so we were waiting for price to either break out to the top or to the bottom before entering any positions. We got a breakout to the top. We got a nice retest of this area. So the idea then would have been after this retest to go on the smaller time frames and look for positions moving up, entries moving up rather. As you can see, there would have been an opportunity here, but price pushed up a little bit and then only came back into the consolidation area. So we are gonna look at this pair as continued consolidation. It was just a temporary breakout and a break back in. So again, going on to the next week, we'll see what happens with this pair. All right, and then we come to Gbp USD. Gbp USD, another opportunity missed on this one. We were looking for buying opportunities for market to go up. As you can remember, this was a backup plan for price to go down. But for the most part, we were looking for price to go up after it broke this key area. When we started the week, we started off the week with price trading right around these areas. So as you can see, we had higher highs, formed higher lows, a final break of this area, price pushed all the way up, and then it finally came down to this key area. So obviously when it gets to this key area, what we were supposed to look for was an entry from candlestick confirmations. Here on the 4-hour, we even had a nice one, but on the lower time frame, we would have gotten entries in and around these areas over here, and we could have capitalized a nice 1-to-3 reward here. Again, another opportunity missed. Like I said, it was just one of those weeks for me. I took trades on pairs that we didn't analyze, and I took a couple of losses this week, which were completely unnecessary. All right, moving on. Euro CAD. Now, Euro CAD, when we opened the week, price was around these areas. We identified as a previous downtrend over here and a break of that trend. I looked at this and I thought to myself, okay, cool, price is moving up. If we get a break of this area on top here, we'll look for a retest of that area and continue up. Obviously, price didn't close above. When we were looking at it initially, price was trading above it, but when it closed, when the 4-hour candle closed, it closed below this area. And so the next trade that we were to look at was in and around this area over here, entries rather, still moving up Why? Because after price reached this low over here, we saw a change in behavior and structure of the market. Price came down here and then started pushing up and then making a higher low over here. So we were looking for an entry around these areas to push for price to continue pushing up, and we would have secured some good profits also off of this. But I wasn't watching this as I should have been as well. Um, we then got a break back into this area, which is obviously not the ideal. But as you can see, price at this moment is still moving up because it's created another higher low in and around this area. So that's my analysis on EuroCAD. And going on to the last pair, which is AUD USD. Again, with AUD USD, what we had identified was price was pushing all the way down. When we started analyzing this pair, I believe it was around here somewhere because we had already gotten a break above, looking for that also popular retest. After this retest, looking to capitalize the markets going up, but as you can see, price here looks like it wants to consolidate and is consolidating in and around these areas. And this area, I will say right now, has become invalid because price keeps breaking it, and we can look at this as a consolidating market. Very simple. What happened this week? We could have caught a couple of good trades, but like I said, I was focusing on other pairs, which wasn't good for me. I should have stuck to my plan, like I always preach. Unfortunately, I didn't, and it bit me. But going into the next week, I promise to practice what I preach. Like I always say, guys, plan your trades and trade your plans, and you will end your weeks, your months, or your years profitable. Until the next one, guys.
What's up, guys? Brandon here from Cornerstone FX, and we are back with the market recap from the previous week. I'm going to jump right in it, and as you can see, I'm on Euro JPY. With this market, as you can recall, we were waiting for the break and retest, which we got right around here. I did enter this market, as I told you, and price moved up quite nicely. I hit my take profit 1. I then went break even, and price moved up to a 1 to 2 risk to reward. And around these levels, I seen price making a lot of weak rejections. So I was expecting the pullback, and I secured most of my position around this area right here. However, price then did move all the way back down, just taking me out there, as you can see, taking me out at break even. Price then moved back up. However, I did identify that price broke structure. Um, as price was moving to the upside, price broke structure, moving, and then I anticipate a downward movement. At that point, I did then enter a sell right around here on the lower time frame. I got a nice bearish engulfing candle. Price broke, retested. I entered right there, and as you can see, price moved down nicely into profit, and then we moved back up, and I was a little bit of drawdown. And just as this candle closed above this yellow zone, I thought, you know what, price might continue to the upside, seeing that we were in a very bullish market. So I closed half of my position there. Unfortunately, what I should have done was I should have held my trade. So I closed off my position right there in a loss, and I held the rest, and then price melted back down into profit. However, as you can see, we reached down all the way to here. I then secured my position at a stop loss to break even, and then we got taken out again break even on this trade before coming back further down. It was a bit disappointing. Not my best trade on this pair, but it's okay. We do move on. We do play a numbers game. We do have risk to reward in place, so we move on. Dropping down to NZD CAD, as you can recall, we were waiting for that break, the retest which we got right here. However, I did not enter right here. Price was moving already down as this was Monday. I did identify this small area right here that we broke through. And what I did was on the lower time frame, I got an entry around this area right here. Let me do this. So I got an entry right around this area as price was moving back down. Put my stop loss just over here, 87,600. That's right. And I was targeting a 1 to 3 initially, but obviously I would then ride this down all the way down to this daily level. So I was in a bit of profit, and then price continued moving up, and I held the trade. And then around this areas right over here, price created another engulfing candle on the lower time frame. However, I did not enter because I didn't want to double my risk on this specific pair. And then price melted all the way down. I did secure the position because price reached right here, tapped into this area, the last lowest point that it reached. I went break even, and unfortunately, as you can see, I just got taken out here. It was quite sad because then price then moved further down, and then what happened was I got another entry on the specific pair around these areas right here. Let me have a look here. Where did I get that entry? Oh, right here, as we got the bounce somewhere over there. My stop loss was just above this zone, and I was then targeting it like that. And again, on this one, price moved nicely into profit, touched again this area. So it was struggling to break this area and then push back up. As it was pushing back up, I did close my position early because I did not want to lose on this pair. So we got a one touch, two touch, and on the third touch, I thought price then might just continue all the way to the upside because it was failing to break here. So I did get taken out on this. Well, I did jump out of it. I closed it manually, uh, not losing anything. I did close it manually. However, as you can recall, we were waiting for the break, which we did then get towards the end of the day before market closed on Friday. We got a nice clean break. Prices continuing down. So hopefully we can get a new nice break and retest entry right here to then finally continue our move to the downside. USD Jpy. Let me open this up for us. As you can recall, I was in a buy position right here. Price was moving nicely into profit. I was not able to reach my 1-to-1, and then we got taken out right here, losing 1% on the account. Not too bad. At this point, I did think price was going to continue down. I was waiting for a retest and continuation. I did not get a candlestick entry. However, as you can see, price was then moving very bad. A lot of weeks to the upside, a lot of weeks to the downside. I believe this was volatility with news that was released. And because of this volatile movement to the upside and to the downside, I was not clear whether we're moving up or down. At this point, I do see that we are still in a downtrend, so I will look for new entries in the new week. However, I was not able to get another entry on the specific pair in the week that we are trading in. If I go down to CAD JPY on this pair, as you can recall, we were waiting for the break and retest. I did not get that. However, I identified this last higher low right here. And because price broke that higher low right there, I then identified that this thing might go into a selling market. And because of that, I waited for the break, which was right here. The retest, I got a nice entry right there. Price moved quite nice down here. I could have secured my 1-to-1 position, but I was waiting for it to fill this week. Unfortunately, I did not go break even on this, and I got taken out on this pair, making this a losing trade. I do expect price to still push down, but we will look for new entries in the new and upcoming week. And then the last pair, as you can recall, guys, I was looking for some bearish movement on this pair. Price moved quite nicely down. We went back up, retested this area. I then took an entry right here as price moved up, closed bearish right there. I took an entry. Price then did take me out, as you can see, made a double top, and then price melted to the downside. Very disappointing. Wasn't my best week. Like we always say, it's a numbers game. We trade the numbers. We trade risk to reward. So As you can recall, we will then pick up from here in the following week. The markets have closed. I would advise let's take a break, let's reset and prepare for the upcoming week. Before I let you guys go, I want to say please like, please share, and subscribe to the channel. Please let us know what we can add on in terms of videos, in terms of education for you guys. But I hope you have a great week, and we will see you in the next one.